Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting out war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with the Middle-earth strategy battle game, and today we're going to take a look at the Dwarves of the Kingdom of Khazad-Dum. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the army bonus on how this sort of affects the army. We'll then take a look at a couple of units we recommend to get started with for the faction. We'll then, after that, look at some other units we can use to further expand after those first couple of initial purchases. And finally, finish off the video with a little sample army list of 300 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Middle-earth strategy battle game army for the Kingdom of Khazad-Dum and the Dwarves. And so, the army bonus for the Dwarves, we have the wealth of Moria lay not in gold or jewels, but in mithril. Now, friendly dwarf models with either the Khazad-Dum or Moria keyword, and we'll look at Moria another day, may reroll to wound rolls of a 1 when fighting in close combat. This is just straight up nice. Reroll 1s to wound, solid. A nice little rule there to really help the benefit, and you know, dwarves are pretty good in fighting in combat to start with, so getting some rerolls to wound is nice. And so, where to begin but with Durin, the King of Khazad-Dum himself. I think he's an excellent place to start. So, he's going to come with heavy mithril armor, Durin's axe, the Ring of Durin, the Crown of Kings, and the Horn of Zigzagil. I probably butchered that last name. Now, he's got 5 value of 6, 4+ for a shoot, strength 4 with defense 9, which is just insane. 3 attacks, 3 wounds, and courage 6 with 3 might, 3 will, and 1 fate. He's got the heroic action, strike, defense, and challenge. And if your army includes Durin, you can upgrade any number of Khazad-Guard in his warband to Hearthguard for 2 points. Hearthguard will have the Burly special rule, which is really nice for them. Now, onto his equipment, Durin's axe. This is a Master Forged 2-handed axe. It will allow the wielder to reroll a single dice when making dual rolls, so cool. And then the Ring of Durin will allow him to reroll a single priority roll once per game. The Crown of Kings, if Durin suffers a wound, you roll a d6. On a 6, the wound is ignored, exactly as if he had spent a fate point. And the Horn of Zigzagil, the Warhorn, it also gives Durin the Terror special rule. On top of the special rule he already has is Fearless. So Fearless causes terror, and he's got the ability to grant some extra bonuses to his Khazad-Guard. And so it is the Khazad-Guard we're going to talk about as the way to go to get started, mainly because Durin does, you know, benefit them, getting the Burly special rule on top of their Bodyguard special rule already. And so their Bodyguard special rule, all warrior or hero models from the same army list with the special rule will automatically gain the Bodyguard to the hero from the same army list with the highest heroic tier. If there is more than one, then the controlling player can choose which one they are a bodyguard to. As long as a bodyguard model is alive on the battlefield, this model passes all courage tests. Models that are part of an allied contingent must select models from their own army list though. So, you know, they are going to be passing all their courage tests, which is really, really cool. And then they've also got the Burly rule as well if they get upgraded, if he chooses to. When fighting with two-handed weapons, models with a special rule do not suffer a -1 penalty to their dual roll. Additionally, Burly models can carry a heavy object and move their full distance. So a really nice little special rule there to give them to really help them be some ultra elite fighters. Now they're already wearing heavy dwarf armor and they've got two-handed axe and a single-handed axe as well. So you can choose to fight in a couple of different ways. But 5 value 4 with 4+, strength 4 and defense 7. So nice on, you know, your basic sort of troops, your warriors. Having defense 7 is insane. 1 attack, 1 wound, and courage 4. Looking at where to go next, though, I think, you know, getting some base dwarf warriors into your force is especially good. Now, there's also something to be said for the fact that this is the only way to really get banners or warhorns into your force. I know a couple of models count as having warhorns already, taking Durin, so he's not necessarily the most important thing, but definitely if you're not including Durin, so the way to get a warhorn on the battlefield is through your dwarf warriors. Generally for banners, it's how you get banners in your force as well, so they do have that place. They're also pretty cheap, and you know, a defense of 6 with dwarf armor and an axe. They can take shields, they can take dwarf bows, they can swap an axe for a two-handed axe and dagger as well if they want to. So it can be quite a useful sort of unit. Now onto another elite unit, we have the Iron Guard. They are going to wear dwarf armor, have a sword and throwing axes. So they're much more our sort of duelists for the army. They're going to come in at 15 points each with 2 attacks. So this is really where they come into it. 2 attacks each. It's going to be massive for them with that 5 value of 4, defense 6, strength 4, solid all around. Now, Dwarf Rangers are another sort of plastic kit we have available to us for the army. They are going to get the Mountain Dweller rules, so this is going to allow them to move freely through terrain that would come up as, mountainous. And then they're also going to be able to take, dwarf longbows, throwing axes, and two-handed axes as well. So the big thing here is their longbows. They've got that nice shoot value of 3+, which is pretty good considering other dwarves. They've only got armor, basic, and axes though, so they're not quite as fighty, but they do make for the best archers you can get for your dwarves. And lastly, we have the Vault Warden team. This is a really interesting team that comes with 2 models. When you purchase it for 25 points, you're going to get one of them with the Iron Shield and one with Foe Spear. So they've both got heavy dwarf armor, and they've got an axe and Iron Shield, and then you've got Spear and Shield rule. So a model is armed with an Iron Shield cannot be bashed or held and is unaffected by the Rend Brutal power. Also, Spear and Shield. So this is a passive rule they've got together, where unless supported by a model with a Foe Spear, a model with an Iron Shield applies a -1 penalty to their dual rolls, even when shielding. And then you've got the Foe Spear. If this is a spear, when supporting model with this Iron Shield receives a bonus of +1 when rolling to wound monsters. So good at taking out the big things trying to come at your line. Defense 9 is really nice on these models. So that's on the Iron Shield, or Defense 6 on the Spear. But solid little team to give you a nice little bit of monster killing power, so you're not having to put your characters into those monsters. And so here we have our sample army list led by Durham, the king of Khazad-Dum. Now he's got all his best thing. He doesn't have to buy any upgrades, so he's just 160 points flat, which is nice. We've got 3 dwarf rangers with dwarf longbows. Like I said, these are the best archers you're going to get for your dwarf army. And then we've got 1 dwarf warrior in there with the banner. I think, just including a banner is super important. We've obviously already got the horn in the army, so we're not needing to purchase one, thanks to Durin. And then we've got a single Iron Guard in there for a nice little duelist. And then 3 Khazad Guard, all of them upgraded to Hearth Guard, so they're all going to get the cool rule of Burly. And then we've got a Vault Warden team in there as well. So there's, a decent variety of different fighters in here. So we're going to get, a nice variety of models to paint up. But also, we've got some good close combat troops. We've got some troops that can hold the line. The Hearth Guard are really good at holding the line, with the heavy dwarf armor. While they can't shield and stuff like that, they've still got high defense. So really, really solid. The Vault Warden team can really help take out monsters. You've got archers in there for when you need them. And you've got a banner, and an Iron Guard can go in there and really quite interesting, because they can generally take it pretty well to sort of low-end characters. If you've been playing with the Dwarves of Khazad-Dum, though, in the Middle-earth strategy battle game, let us know how you've been going down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, come and join our Discord and join in the conversation there. We chat all things wargaming and other things besides as well. If you'd like to do that, you can come join via the descriptions linked to the server. Now, also linked down in the video's description is the best ways to support the channel via Patreon or YouTube members, or indeed grabbing some merch from our merch stores on either Teespring or on Ko-fi. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel on Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Aaron DeHaven, Kevin Bowman, and Iron Grinch. And a special thank you to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, and James South. Lastly, a special thank you to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel as well. Couldn't do this without you. Thank you all to everyone for watching once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.